in your AI journey, and then I'll share with you also where I am in my AI journey and kind of what prompted me to start doing these classes. So, but what I want to do first is I want to do an experiment. Has anyone ever heard of Suno? You've heard of Suno?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so Suno, I thought we'd kick it off today by creating a song with AI. So here's the platform right here. It's called Suno, and they have a free version. It's suno.com. And what I thought we'd do is just create a little song that we can all kind of enjoy together. And all we have to do is put in a prompt for what we might want the song to sound like. So I thought maybe I could do something about this class, this training event, and welcome everyone. And we'll see what it generates for us. So I'm just gonna say, well, describe your song. Welcome to the Mesa Small Business AI training. Let's see, something energetic and fun. How's that? That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna mess around with the instruments. They've got instrumental, they've got lyrics, they've got different functions, but just for the purposes of showing you what it can do, I clicked create, and now what it's doing is it's creating a little song for us. And then we can all take a vote and see which one we like the best.
Lynn, I was looking down, so when you went to suno.com, what was the first place you clicked on?
Suno.com, and then I just clicked on the create button right here.
Okay, all right.
Right here. See that?
And then you just wrote that in there where it says describe your song.
Yeah.
So this
That's
Suno,
all I did. I
is
just
it a
put
song
in.
creator
I
website?
just put something in there, just like
It-
a two
It
sentence
could create a
prompt.
song for your
Right, but is that all it
event
is?
that you're doing.
Right, so that's the specialty of this web, of Suno.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Hang on a second here. I
We had
my
that
Beatles on.
earlier.
All right, let me start over again. Sorry about that. I had my Beatles music on. Okay, here we go. No lyrics. Oh, here we go. Like that one. Okay, that's the first one. I'll just go to the next one. We'll just play two of them, just to give you an idea of how this works. idea. So super easy to use. That's the first thing, you know, that you can start playing with when you get home tonight is create music using a free app. I think they have a paid version, but I've only used the free one. You can upgrade it. It's suno.com, and just have fun with it. And think about like your business. Think about how you can start to generate content with music behind whatever it is that you're creating. You know, if you're doing social media posts, if you're maybe sending out email campaigns to a client list, there's all different ways you can use music to engage your potential client or your lead or whatnot. So it kind of gets your creativity juices flowing when you see what the possibilities are just by creating a song with a couple of sentences. It's pretty amazing. And you can do all kinds of things with it. So I thought that was kind of fun to kick things off today. But now what we'll do is we will go ahead and get started on the training. So first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming today. My name is Sherry Kopvis, and what I'm going to be talking about today is helping small business owners in the area get more comfortable using AI. We know that AI is a big buzzword right now. And so what I find is that a lot of the small business owners, they don't even know where to begin. So that's the whole purpose of doing this training, is to just help everyone start to talk about AI, start to think about it in their business and some of the possibilities. You want something?
Paper.
Oh, paper.
Oh, here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have it in there. Yeah. So it's about really getting more comfortable with it and having it as part of your vocabulary. So everyone's heard of AI. Now, hopefully by the end of this today, you're going to have a better understanding of how you can use it in your business. So with that said, a little bit about me. Here's my story. I am a certified Chief AI Officer, and I have spent countless hours and resources and money getting myself educated in AI. My journey started getting my AI certification in industry specific and only in marketing. And what I found as I was using AI, it really opened up my eyes to where AI was headed. So after I spent about a year using AI in marketing, I did marketing content for my business. So I did a lot of social media posts, using AI tools. I used AI to create email sequence campaigns to really cut down on my time that I would normally have to spend writing an email manually. So I started using it so that I could just get my information out to my client database quicker, and also so I could start to bring in more clients. So that's really kind of the low-hanging fruit in AI right now. It's a lot of marketing companies are using AI to generate images, to generate videos, to generate their content, maybe presentations, that kind of thing. So that's where I started my AI journey, and then I thought, you know what, this is not stopping at marketing. This is really big. So what I did is I sought out a certification as a Chief AI Officer, and what that does is it helps me with business owners develop a strategy. So we know there's over 500,000 AI tools out there today, and that is absolutely daunting. especially for someone that's just learning about AI. It's like, oh my gosh, where do I start? It's crazy. I think that last number was 736,000. So I just rounded out over 500,000. But a lot of the tools that are being created, they might not be here 6 months from now. They might not be here a year from now. So what my goal is
that just because it's, I'm sorry to interrupt,
Yes.
transforming so fast, or?
Yeah, there's a lot of AI developers right now
Yeah.
that are using AI tools, and they're pushing these tools out. But what I always say is, before you even buy a tool, really think about, take a step back, think about how you want to use it in your business, and identify really what your goals are. Identify a problem, identify what your goals are, just take it in little steps, because it can be very easy to be sold all these different tools, right? So you want to be careful about the tools that are coming out. Like I said, they might not be here in a year from now. So what I do is I help my clients strategize. We put together an AI roadmap. So we do an assessment of their business, where they are in their business. Are they using AI? Are they not using AI? Where are they using it? And where does it make the most sense to plug it in? And usually it's just little pieces. It's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So you just identify little pieces first before you go all in. Because we have seen companies where they spend tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, hundreds of thousands, larger companies, they jump into AI, and then it's like they got to put the brakes on it because they didn't have the proper guardrails placed within their company. And that does happen. So it's just important to understand that as you're learning about AI, safety, guardrails, compliance, things like that. So that's one of the things that I focus on with my clients. And then, like I said, I have a certification in AI. I've got several, also a certified SCORE mentor. So I don't know if any of you have heard of SCORE, but what we do is we mentor small businesses, and they're upstarts. They might be upstarts. Maybe they've been in business for a long time and they're getting kind of stuck. So I'm a mentor for small businesses, and I volunteer my time for that. And I really enjoy that. I'm also on the SCORE, what's called AI Education Committee. So what we're doing right now is we're putting together AI training content for SCORE so that we can train the mentors. So we have 10,000 SCORE mentors, but the majority of them don't know AI. So I'm part of the committee where we're putting together the content for the mentors. So now they can be more educated when they're talking with a small business owner and how they can plug in AI into their business. So those are just a few things I do. And I do pride myself on being a transformation specialist. I provide clarity, and I've done several speaking engagements, the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. I've done it for ASU. I've also done it for small business development out of Texas. And then I've done it for some real estate organizations. And I've done it for a few networking groups. So I like to get up in front and help people identify, where we can help them with their AI. So here's today's game plan. What we're going to do is we're just going to kind of talk about the industry, what's happening overall in the world right now with AI. And then I want to talk a little bit more about Mesa small businesses, and what's happening, like what the mindset is going on right now with small business owners. And then we're going to do some AI fundamentals. Then I'm going to do a hands-on demo for you, a few different demos I'm going to be doing. A couple of demos I'm going to be introducing, even if anyone's using ChatGPT, hopefully I'm going to introduce a couple of new ways to use ChatGPT, how to prompt. One is called curated prompting, and the other one is called reverse prompting. So I'm going to show you some very unique ways to prompt, because what I hear out there more often than not is, oh, Chat GPT didn't give me what I wanted. It's because they're not prompting correctly. So we're going to go through a couple different methodologies that I think are really, really powerful. And then we're going to talk a little bit about strategy again, because I want to make sure that when you walk away today, you don't just jump into tools. Think about how you want to use it. Come up with a little game plan. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but kind of think through it. So I'm going to give you some tools to do that. And then we're going to wrap up with some Q&A. So here's a snapshot. I used to have about 6 slides on this alone, but I've cut it down to 1. But the basic genesis of this is that AI is coming for the jobs that they can replace the human. So when you think about reading and writing and things like that, it's AI and big data. Those are some jobs that AI will replace. So if you're in that industry, start to think about, okay, I don't want to be replaced, but I want to empower myself to be more educated in how I can leverage AI so that I can be more valuable to my employer. So it shouldn't scare you. You should just be aware that that is what is going on. Marketing and media. Right now, marketing is the lowest hanging fruit out there when it comes to using AI. And I met a woman not long ago. She came to one of these classes, and she had been a marketing creator for like 30 years, and she was looking for a job. And she said, I don't understand it, but no one's calling me. I have 30 years of experience. And then she was actually poo-pooing AI. So that's not going to help her. She really has to understand that those in marketing, you need to know AI. Your resume is going to be put at the top of the pile when HR companies are running their searches. So if you have AI skill sets in your resume, if you're looking for a job, it's very, very important. It's key to getting your resume at the top of that pile. And the more you can show that you've done with AI, the better. And it's nothing to be afraid of. It's just something to be aware of, that I need to get on board with this. Basic programming. We're hearing that basic programmers, junior level programmers, are being replaced. They're being replaced with AI. You know, even the college kids, they're just getting out of school and they spent all this money on their degree, and now they can't find a job because they were not taught AI when they were going to school for their education. It's really very unfortunate that the universities didn't prepare them. The universities are behind. So that's really, really sad. And we've met a few that's the case. We've met junior developers that have lost their jobs with GoDaddy, with Google. You know, they're being replaced with AI. Financial management, payroll clerks, financial analysts, accountants, all where you can crunch numbers right in AI. You can create spreadsheets, you can put in your data, and it's going to provide you with that information that much quicker using AI rather than a human. But remember, all of these, the human aspect is not lost. It's not lost. It's just that this is going to make your job that much quicker, but you always want to have a human in the loop. We call it human in the loop when you're analyzing what it produced for you, what it generated for you. So think of it as AI is 10% human in the loop, and then you've got 80% in the middle, which is AI, and then you've got 10% on the back end. 10, 80, 10. So 10 human in the loop, 80 AI, and then another 10% human in the loop. Yes?
Can I just ask right now,
Ron's gonna give you the mic.
Oh. Because my daughter-in-law and son-in-law are in the medical field. My daughter-in-law's a nurse practitioner. practitioner, and he's gonna graduate a year as a nurse anesthetist, and I can't help but wonder how AI is gonna impact.
Nursing?
Yes, nursing and
Well,
the medical field.
it's hard to say. I mean, I know that Ron and I have been to like malls, and there have been medical pods where it's all run off of AI. You know, you can step into this pod and you can get a complete physical without any human there. We didn't do it, but
Wow.
but I mean,
That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to think about. But those are jobs that the human. I mean, I can't imagine anytime soon they're going to be replaced.
So nothing soon.
You know,
10
anytime
years,
soon.
maybe.
You know, because that requires that human touch.
Yeah, because I heard
You know.
AI is like doubling every 3 months or something. I don't know how to explain it, but.
Yeah, it's every 7 days it changes. Every 7 days.
AI does.
So it's like if you learned something 30 days ago, you know, it might be obsolete by now. That's how often it's changing. It's crazy. So any detail-oriented work, proofreaders, AI all the way. You've got all kinds of AI tools out there right now that can proofread. But again, the human has to inspect it. So it's not 100%. Some of these will be at one point, but right now, unless maybe Brian knows of any that are doing it 100% replacement for any of these things. I don't know of any right now. I know we're headed that way, but
Well, to answer this Emily's wonderful question, there's a great book out there right now. I'm gonna give you the hot mic action. There's a good book right now by a former tech CTO of Google. His name is Ray Kurzweil. He wrote a book 20 years ago called The Singularity is Near. He rewrote the book and called it The Singularity is Near because he projected by 2080 that our minds and artificial intelligence will be combined together. This is a technology expert at Google, like this is a C-level tech, or not just a technician. He's been studying this AI since, I think it's originated, the term was coined in like 1958, 1956. So AI's been around for a while, and this guy Ray was in college at the time learning AI back in the 50s and 60s, discussing this and how it's evolved. But what he had asserted was by 2030 now, that will be completely like in congruence with AI, like in our minds and our bodies. There'll be nanobots coursing through our veins that will repair cancerous cells at a molecular level and stuff like that. Like within the next 5 years, we're talking about. And at the speed we're going, I was just explaining to them that everything I'm doing with AI
Yeah.
changes the next week. It's like everything's
Yeah, it's crazy.
completely changed already.
yeah.
So there is another problem there too, where fear, uncertainty and doubt comes into play whenever there's change. And when there's change, there's an opportunity. At least that's how I've always seen it in the world. So I don't think, yes, it probably will replace. Yes, it probably will. People will lose jobs over that. But I think the people who adapt to that
Right.
and ride that roller coaster will have a fun time doing it.
And yeah, thank you for that. and the nice thing about AI is you don't really have to be like a tech guru. You don't have to be. Because there's so many, like you saw how I just typed in two sentences to create a song. I mean, it's super easy. So you don't have to start with using some of the basics. You don't need a lot of tech skills at all. If you can turn on a computer and register for a program like ChatGPT or a couple other tools I'm going to tell you about, then you're good to go. Just start embracing it and learning and coming to classes and getting yourself educated. Super, it's very accessible for anyone at any age. It really is. And what's nice about our crowd here, with the exception of this young man, we're all in the older generation. And so now think about all the knowledge that we have built up over our careers. And now we can prompt that. We can put really good prompts into ChatGPT. Whereas I think our age, we have an advantage because we've already got a lot of knowledge. So we're not inputting random prompts, whereas someone that doesn't have that baseline of knowledge and experience and work, you know, all the years that we've all worked, now we can really use ChatGPT and other AI tools in a more efficient manner. So think about that. You're actually ahead of the game just because you've been in the business and you've been out there in the world for a long time. So it's absolutely, it's a game changer for any age. I mean, I've had, you know, I'm not young, and, you know, I've had students in my classes that are older than me, you know, I mean, hands down. So they're all learning it. They all want to learn it, and it's just one of those things where you just kind of have to get over the hump.
Yeah.
I do want to share something before I jump into this Mesa small business, what's happening in Mesa. A couple of examples, or I'll give you one example. Has everyone heard of Shopify? Shopify? It's like an online shopping, kind of like an Amazon or Etsy kind of thing, where people put their products on the market. It's like an online marketplace. The CEO of Shopify, within the last couple of months, he put out a memo to all of his hiring managers, and he said that you have to prove to me that AI cannot do the job before you can hire someone. You have to prove it to me. Prove it to me that an AI cannot do it, and if the AI cannot do it, then you have the freedom to hire someone. But they have to prove that AI cannot do the job. And we're seeing that everywhere. We're seeing that with huge corporations, enterprise level corporations right now. We're seeing it with IBM, we're seeing it with Google, we're seeing it everywhere. So it's just a sign of the times that a lot of these enterprise companies are, it's mandatory. And so I think it's really, really important that as a small business owner, that you understand the power that you have at your fingertips right now. Because you don't have to have a big budget. These enterprises, they have massive budgets for this kind of stuff, but you don't need a massive budget. You just have to understand how it can help your business and take off little chunks at a time to help you. So you actually are in a great place with your small business, because if you start using it, you can compete with the larger companies that maybe aren't even embracing it. They're like, oh, you know, they're gonna get left behind. And same with small businesses. You have to embrace it. It's like, it's a non-negotiable. It should be a non-negotiable for you, that you need to embrace it. So let's talk a little bit about Mesa small businesses. Here's the 2025. There's over 650,000 small businesses in Mesa. And it says here statewide with a net of 6,750 openings in the past 12 months. So small businesses are growing. They're really growing. And I see it as a SCORE mentor too. I see it as a SCORE mentor because I get flooded with inquiries to mentor small businesses, upstarts. And so if the small businesses can really embrace AI, they're going to actually be much more ahead of the small businesses that don't. And then we see a 73% year-over-year growth. So Phoenix area owners reported significant growth. So this is just a couple of numbers to think about. As small businesses, you know, you might be in the same industry as another small business, but if they're using AI in their business, then it's something you want to definitely be using in yours too.
70% of the number of businesses being created, or 70% that each business is reporting? I'm sorry.
He's gonna, go ahead.
The 73% is that every business is saying that they have grown. 72%.
It's an average. That's like overall.
But growth in sales, growth in business, or is this the number of businesses?
Revenue. It would be overall revenue.
So if I'm not at 73% growth, then I'm behind the curve. Is that what you're saying?
This is just a statistic that was.
I'm
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, it's growing, you know. Here's some key insights into the local business landscape. And by the way, these sources were pulled from Office of Advocacy, Greater Phoenix Business Magazine, and then Emerge Talent. So these are all figures that were extrapolated using AI to give us these statistics. Top local sectors, what they're finding is healthcare, advanced manufacturing, aerospace, and retail and services. Those are some of the top local sectors.
Sherry, do you happen to know, I mean, there's so much manufacturing, is there? Yeah.
Sherry, with it says about advanced manufacturing, do you know what industries, or there's some more?
I do not, but here's a great way to find out.
Use ChatGPT?
Yeah, because what you can do,
Exactly.
if you want to dig into any of this further, you can go into ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity is another one I like, and you can actually run some research. And you can ask it, for example, advanced manufacturing, it was identified as a top local sector in growth. Can you break that down for me? And then it will give you a complete breakdown of whatever sectors they are. So think about, when you have questions like that, think about how AI can help you answer those questions. So that's what I would recommend.
I do have another question.
Yeah.
Seeing that I'm like in preschool with AI, and I haven't even tried to use ChatGPT, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
So basically then these platforms, Perplexity, Claude, and ChatGPT, are you saying these are AI platforms that you go to? Is that, they're like, can you
Yeah,
tell
I'll
me a
show
little
you.
more of that? Okay.
I can show you an example of what that looks like, and I can break it down a little bit for you. I'll show you in a demo.
Okay, maybe people are more advanced than I am.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. You gotta start somewhere, right? This is what businesses are reporting as their biggest headaches. And it's marketing reach, it's staffing challenges, and admin overload for small businesses. So that's what, so that's what the data is telling us, is that those are the biggest headaches for small business owners. Maybe it's different, maybe it's different for your business, but that's what they're saying in general, what they're coming up with. So here, Mesa Small Business and why it matters. According to PayPal, Newsroom, and New York Post, these are my sources for this, 25% of small business owners use AI daily. 55% of small business owners are in the exploratory stage of AI with their businesses. And then 77% of those using AI, they have confidence in the quality of what they're getting. And then they also report that they're saving about 13 hours per month, and they're saving about $4,700 average per month. So when you start to use it, you'll kind of understand, like, I don't have to hire a marketing director. I don't have to hire certain people. I can do all of this, or I can have an admin do a lot of these things for me. So it really starts to add up, depending on how big your organization is, how many, what your revenue is. But this is just on average what Mesa small business owners are saying. And can you talk a little bit, Brian, about like how you're using AI in your small business, and are you seeing a huge savings in what you're doing? And would you mind sharing a little bit?
Yeah.
And it's a time for you to give yourself a shout out for your business too.
I appreciate that. My name's Brian LeBlanc. I own LeBlanc Cleans, Mesa, Arizona-based small business here. And that's kind of morphed into doing some business coaching called Service Levers, where we're starting to use AI and automation and helping small businesses, especially small home service-based businesses, capitalize on these technological opportunities, as I prefer to call them. What we're doing in our own company, LeBlanc Cleans, so one of the biggest banes of existence for a lot of small businesses is payroll. I found working with small business owners that payroll is a fingerprint, but in other words, very, very specific for each company. They do it in a different way, and it's not unique. Like it all generates a paycheck to our employees at some point in time, but the process of running payroll is like trying to fit a square into a circle. People are trying to like do things internally that doesn't fit with the CRM that they're using or the payroll systems that they're using. So they have to like manually. So we were doing the same. We were spending 2-3 days trying to compile the previous week's payroll. And I had up to 26 employees right now, and about 13. So I'm not that big of a business, but enough to have a headache. And this is like, hey, how can I address this with AI? So we started out as a Google spreadsheet where we're dumping in everybody's jobs, and then we turned that into a script, right? I used AI to make that into a script. That was like my first dipping the toe in the water per se. And then I'm like, well, we could do better. Like I got an admin now who's exporting the script, putting it into Google Sheets, and now waving her magic wand and making all the things to happen. And then I have a VA that plugs in all the numbers into our payroll system. So we automated that even further by using AI automations and taking multiple agents to look at the data, train it on what this is the raw data, this is the output that we get here, make that happen automatically. And so we had AI automate that in a programmatic way using like Python scripts and stuff like that, which is now we're getting into like development phases. I don't know darn thing about development other than some computer programming classes I took in the 1980s and that dates me. So that's what it's at today now. Our payroll system is almost completely automated. All I do is upload the raw data, and it spits out almost like a pivot diagram of like what we pay each employee for their hours worked the previous week, and then my VA just goes in and enters in those numbers. So it took a 2 to 3 day process down to like a 15-minute process. Have I quantified that on like savings and labor and stuff like that? Not really, but it doesn't take a marksman to figure out it's a significant savings, and now my admin's freed up to do other things instead of doing that. So now we're really starting to do that AI culture thing. We're like, hey, how do we automate these things? What things are your headaches? What are you spending a lot of time on? Can we automate this using AI in one way or another? So
Yeah.
it's beyond just prompt engineering. Like that's like the proverbial exposure into AI, and then it just opens up a whole new world of other possibilities. Like, what else can I do with this? This is like a magical toolbox I can play with and extrapolate. So that's one of the things we're doing with it. I'm starting to use it to try to develop our own internal software, so that instead of trying to pull out third-party vendor softwares and try to make them all talk to each other, which is another great thing that AI does as well. Pull in multiple connections. It's like what I don't know if you know what Zapier is, or N8N. You mentioned that earlier. Those are platforms that help you connect multiple technologies into one central way to execute on what you're looking to do. So we're trying to build internally tools that fit our needs, not a generalistic tool that was designed for like a house cleaning company that fits the needs of all house cleaning companies in a generalistic fashion. Like everyone has very specific needs, and I think that's how businesses compete against each other. And if you build that internally, you can be more competitive in your local markets, especially in the local market. So that's kind of what we're taking our business in, is trying to automate as much of that, and then remove as much physical labor as I need to pay out. Because payroll is your employees are your biggest cost if you're running companies with employees. It's roughly around 45 to 50% of our overall cost of revenue that we have. So that'll never replace like my physical workers that are out there as a cleaning company. They're out there cleaning with a Q-tip your bathtubs and tiles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Unless they come up with nanobots that does that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say that in the future, but that's a little
No, that's great.
inkling of what we're doing.
No, that's great. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. I think now is a good time. I think I lost my slide on taking a poll. I was going to take a poll, and I don't know what happened to it. But I think now's a good time to go around the room and maybe just talk about, what you're doing with AI and kind of like what you hope to get out of
Just mention your company.
out of this training event. Even if it's just a matter of signing up for ChatGPT, that's okay. No judgment. So we'd love to kind of hear where everyone is at in their AI journey. And we'll start with the advanced user here.
I'm humble why that comment, but it's changes so rapidly, it's making my head spin. So I gave you a brief kind of introduction of what I do with that. I have a technology background, so I'm very comfortable working with technology, but my wife started a cleaning company and I'm kind of like holding on to her coattails, kind of trying to drive this train with that in mind. So that's kind of my general, you kind of got a sense of what I do with AI and my personal business. And then Service Others is our spin-off coaching business that we're trying to run. But I don't want to run into any of your endeavors here. And it's very specific to home service businesses, so that's what we're looking to do with AI and help people automate non-profits.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lorena. I'm with LT Benefits Group. I'm a licensed insurance agent, so I deal with employee benefits and Medicare. So I started using AI to write descriptions. That's how I started using it, because I didn't know. People started saying, go to ChatGPT, ChatGPT will help, blah, 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 blah. It made me a biography yesterday, and I was like, it wrote it so much better than I did, and I was kind of upset to see. But I started using it and started to incorporate different things. I made my own presentation the other day with it. But I'm still really new and I'm lost, because sometimes I'm like, why don't I do what I wanted to do? I know I'm messing something up or doing something wrong, so that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I mean, that's the whole thing, is like practice. You know, like when you start with a prompt, you're always going to probably want to iterate the prompt because you just kind of grow on that. And while you're doing that, you're training your LLM for future content. So when you first start using any LLM, large language model, when you first start using it, it's starting at a baseline. It's just like it has to get to know you.
Okay.
So as you continue to use it, it's going to get to know you more and more, and you're going to be training it as you go.
Okay. I've been using Gemini from Google.
Yeah, Gemini.
That's the one I've been working with.
Yeah. I don't use Gemini, but there's several options out there.
Yeah.
My default has been chat, and also I like Claude a lot. Those are two of the LLMs that I like to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Dustin. I'm a real estate property manager for Mesa managing a rental homes for my rent.
So sure.
Say that again?
You did.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
there you go.
My name is Dustin, and I manage rental properties for my rent.
Did you say rental properties? You're like a property management.
Yeah, for my family.
Okay.
I do a lot of admin work at home. So
Okay.
I'm hoping to use AI to help automate that and make it a bit more efficient, because I do a lot of things manually, like inputting, like tracking leases, inputting repair records. It takes a lot of time.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ita Udwama. I'm a commercial filmmaker and brand first strategist. And I would say I'm probably one of those advanced users.
Okay.
I use everything. So
Really? Okay.
Chat, Claude, Perplexity, and all of the image generators, all of the video generators. I actually came because I really thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of zoom out. I'm so deep in it that I've kind of lost perspective and wanted to see kind of where everybody else was at. So.
Okay. Great. Thank you for coming.
I'm Ivan Martinez. I'm a commercial photographer, and so I've been using AI in several areas. The one that I really started using it was a couple of years ago. We decided to revamp my website, and so a lot of the content that I ended up putting inside the website was using AI to match the SEOs and do research to find out what content will work and help me find new clients. After that, some of the tools that I'm using, they're using AI. I have a CRM program that allows basically every time somebody puts a request, it goes into a bucket so I can track everybody that is asking for information and stuff. But recently they added a AI tool of it so that it creates an automatic email that basically says, here's the reply ready for this person's question. So it takes me about 2 minutes to go in and maybe make some changes, but it saves me a lot of time from me having to write basically an email replying to the questions that they have. So AI is doing that and saving me a lot of time. And then I'm also using that on my image editing and video as well as the photography. Adobe is very advanced right now, adding AI generated tools to help you edit images and do retouches and so forth. So that alone is also helping out. And I'm embracing it as much as I can because it's not going to go away. And it's just a matter of how can you make my work better, how can I service my clients better, and how can I save myself time from doing that. So
Great.
Learning it as I go.
Great, thank you.
My name is Nora Ellen. Currently, I'm a broker of Nora Ellen Real Estate, but I'm an entrepreneur and doing some other things with design. I mean, one thing I see what's happening with AI, and I have 6 grandchildren from ages 1 to 9, and I want to keep up with them and not just be this old person. I'm turning 70 next year. But there's some music I would like to write that I've never heard, and some other things. So I just am here to learn because I do think it's like a life changer, and I want to take advantage of it, especially with some designing that I'm wanting to do. So that's it.
Did you say you're a real estate broker?
Yes, I own my own company, but I really am transitioning out because there's so much changes in real estate now, and I just have been doing it over 17 years, and it's just different. So I want to design certain kind of clothing for women that's not out there. The women's fashion industry needs a makeover.
Thank you for that. Sure. Yeah. More back here.
Yep.
Hello all, my name is Clayton Higgins. I work for the City of Mesa Transportation Department. I also have a small business here in the City of Mesa, Arizona Football Network, ArizonaFootball.net. It's going to be pretty much a clearinghouse of all football activity around the state. I'm still establishing that website, and AI has been very useful in many different ways to help me create documentation, help me create process, SOP documentation. It's helped me with researching different companies that I'm trying to kind of cross-compare myself to. For example, Yelp is got a good knowledge on how Yelp's business structure is running, and I'm able to kind of figure out those parts of it that I want to incorporate into my business structure. And even right now, I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate AI to help me with my social media management, because that's something I'm finding myself struggling with right now. There's too much going on, so I want to give AI those tasks. And at first I used it kind of like one way use Google to kind of search things. And after a while I started kind of using like Wikipedia as almost like a reference source. And now I'm kind of mature. I guess I'm at that advanced beginner stage where it's like, okay, all right, I can actually offload some responsibilities into AI. So I'm learning more and more about how to, and I'm using ChatGPT. I'm coming closer and closer to getting a subscription because I'm hitting that daily cap every day when I'm using it. So it's like, okay, it's time to subscribe and start really getting into the advanced tools. So yeah.
Great. Yeah. Sounds like pretty much everyone has dabbled in it. Even if you haven't, it's not something to be intimidated by, just for those that haven't done it yet. Looks like my screen turned off. All right. So with that said, oh boy, what happened here? We lost connection.
Real quick before we go on, my name is Ronald Follett, and I'm with eXp Realty, and I'm also AI certified myself on the real estate side of it. Sherry's the chief AI officer, so if I need to know anything extra, I know who to go to, right? But we're local, we're nationwide, and we're international. So we got a lot of moving parts in the real estate side of it, and it's pretty awesome because a lot of people are looking places out of this country, and so might be a good time to do it.
So, so for common worries we're seeing with small business owners, thank you, Ron. We're seeing, you know, they're worried about maybe loss of control, maybe if they have employees that are using AI. That could be one thing that they might be concerned about, quality control issues, also job loss, and then brand trust. If their clients see they're using AI, is there gonna be a loss of trust with clients? So those are some common worries that we see, and the key really is just using AI the right way and being trained on how to use it. So those are all issues that can definitely be alleviated. And here was my quick poll, so we already did that. So AI, just real briefly, AI is computers that perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as problem solving and decision making. And then of course, machine learning is the model that learns from the data. And then the generative AI is what we're talking about today. It's the AI that creates new and original content. And it includes text, images, audio, and code. And one question I do get on occasion is plagiarism. So think of it this way. When you're typing in, let's say you want to learn about an author, and you type in an author's information into AI, you're going to be, you're not actually, let's say you want to learn, what's a good author?
Anyway.
Anyway, okay. So let's say we have an author and you want to do some research on that author, and you want to pull in content from that author using AI. The only way you're going to actually plagiarize it is if you literally take that book and you reuse it. But with AI, you're actually generating your own content. So you're not plagiarizing. So you could even ask AI, who are the 3 most famous, authors on nonfiction? And if it pulls up the 3 authors, you can then ask AI, if these 3 authors combined were to write a story about X, it's these 3 authors, and they're pulling in content and knowledge from 3 different authors. So when you create your content, it's going to be original because you're pulling in multiple resources. So AI is not plagiarism unless it's used improperly. But for the most part, you're always going to be creating your own AI content. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but you're creating new content every time you use it. So it's not like you're copying from someone. Okay? So,
There's a question on that.
yes. Yes.
So, okay. On my website, I'm gonna be generating content, blog content,
What kind?
news blog content, like, for, again, sports. So, and then I'm gonna have on my site some pieces like, hey, how to become a referee and stuff like this. Would it be responsible for users to at least tell the reader that AI was used to generate, in maybe like a sidebar or emergencies or somewhere?
Like a disclaimer.
Like a disclaimer, right?
Yeah, I mean, you always, like I mentioned earlier, you always want to be that human aspect. You don't want to just spit something out using AI 100%. You could say that this content was AI assisted, something like that. Or like if you're creating videos, or if you're using like a digital twin, for example, where it's an avatar, you probably want to disclose that this is AI generated. So it doesn't hurt to do that, but you always want to, you never want to just take everything that AI does and just put it out there. You want to massage it. Typically you want to take that content, maybe put it into a Word doc or something, and then put your own, your own flavor on it, your own spin, you want to edit it, and then put it out. So I don't know if that answers your question.
It does.
Okay.
I mean, and I know that AI learns you, and it learns your style.
Yeah.
And then that becomes cause like it's kind of like an advantage of a two-edged sword.
Yeah,
Because,
it's pretty amazing, once you use it for a while, how much it really does
I'm experiencing that.
know you.
So
It's like, oh my gosh, it sounds just like me, yeah. Here's some things to think about when you're starting to use AI, and then we're gonna get into a demo after this. And it's perfect with your question. So you wanna have guardrails before you start using AI. You wanna make sure that, for example, data privacy, you never wanna put anything in AI that could not potentially go widespread. So it'd be, people's personal data. You never wanna do that. Yes?
Can I ask Sherry, so,
I'm not on TikTok, as I just heard that you give them every kind of detail that they could ever want, and so how does it work with, the terms of service are usually thousands and thousands of words, where once you give them your information, they're not going to be having all your contacts information and everything else that could be in your phone.
Well, I mean, in general, even if it says your data isn't being shared, I would still be cautious, overly cautious. And so I wouldn't put anything into AI that I'm not okay with it getting out there.
so there's no terms of service?
There is.
Where
There is terms of service, and
ask?
but still, I would still be cautious because, like Claude, maybe you have some feedback on this, Brian, but my understanding is Claude is one of the safer LLMs out there. A lot of universities and education, they use it. ChatGPT, you have your open, you have your $20 version, I think that's called Plus, Plus or Pro, I can't remember which one it is. And then you have your team version, where that's another version of AI. You have different levels, but if you're just using ChatGPT, the $20 version, I would just not put anything in there that I'm not afraid. If you don't want to put social security numbers, you don't want to put addresses and phone numbers and email, you don't want any personal information going in there, so you want to redact the content. Like if you're a realtor, a broker, you want to be careful about the contracts.
Well, sure, that's all common sense, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I still think there's
Yes.
more they extract
Yes.
somehow with technology.
Yes.
And that we, I don't know,
So for-
can't control.
Yeah, like for your situation being in real estate, you could take a template of a contract, and you could put that into ChatGPT, and you could ask it questions. You could have it help you fill in the blanks. You could even maybe make a dummy contract. Put in a dummy
Sure.
address, all these things. And then you can train your ChatGPT that these are the fields that need to be completed when I get a contract. So it's gonna help you maybe streamline your process. And then you could also use something like Copilot, which is it's more of a secure, it's through Microsoft, it's more of a secure LLM. So if you have Copilot, then you could potentially put more sensitive information into something like that.
Is that on the previous screen? I'm sorry, when you said?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I have
Okay.
Copilot in there.
Yeah.
But it's just something to be aware of if you're downloading information. You just want to be careful about what you download, like contracts and lawyers putting in, like their client information, things like that. Just be aware that there's data privacy issues to think about, to consider, not to just randomly upload or download contracts and things. Brand voice consistency, that was something we were talking about, where, once you start using your AI, it's going to get to know you, it's going to be a consistent voice and tone, and there's ways you can set up your profile so that it has settings. You can set up your particular style, and I don't know if anyone's done that here. You probably have done that. In the settings in ChatGPT, there's a settings section where you can set up your own brand and voice, so you can do that. So that way, you're training your ChatGPT even more than just putting in prompts. So take a look at that settings, and I'll show you where that is. Content accuracy, always fact check and cite sources for information generated by AI. Notice I did that on some of the sources that I provided. I think it's important that you do that. That way people can also fact check what you're doing. And then AI usage policy, it's a good idea as an employer to have a handbook, standard operating procedures. If you know your employees are using AI, if anyone has employees that they're concerned about, more than likely they are using AI, they might not be telling you. So it's just something where you want to make sure you have SOPs in place. That way you're setting yourself up for success rather than what we call shadow users, when you have employees that are using AI and they're not letting you know because they could be putting in content in there that you don't want in there. So it's good to have an AI usage policy for your employees and as a business owner. Real quickly, here's some alternatives to ChatGPT. We have Claude. Perplexity is it's an AI-powered search. I love this tool. On the back end of Perplexity, it has multiple LLMs, so it's pulling up research from multiple LLMs, not just one. And then we've got a couple others here. I want to kind of breeze through this. Here's the ChatGPT tour. There's different tiers of ChatGPT. They all have different, they all have superpowers. They all have their own like advanced reasoning or maybe general, depending on which version you're using, and that's located up in the left-hand corner of your ChatGPT. So even when you just sign up for it, just pull that menu down and take a look. It's going to tell you advanced reasoning, and it's going to tell you different applications on how to use it. So it'll help you when you're using ChatGPT. My go-to is version 03 because I do a lot of research for clients, but you can definitely start out just using the 4.0 version for general information. That would be a good starting point. And that's probably going to be the default on your account. Plugins, I love the GPT store. If you're looking for anything, if you're looking for, if you're looking for marketing for real estate, you can find it in there. It's going to give you all kinds of, just pull it up and you can start creating content with it. If you don't have that, if you're not sure like what to do, that would be a great starting point too.
I'm not doing real estate.
Yeah.
Where exactly would be more the design.
Yeah.
Do you want to go back to the previous screen real quick, Sherry?
Yes.
Just want to see that one, but thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's Microsoft Pilot.
Huh?
Copilot.
Microsoft Copilot.
Yeah, I mentioned Copilot earlier. That's it's the Microsoft ecosystem, and a lot of companies are using Microsoft Copilot. And now you can buy laptops at Best Buy with the built-in. Yeah. There's a name for. Did you have the upgraded one? Yeah, it's pretty nice, huh? Are you using it?
I don't actually. I don't use
Okay.
it that much.
Okay.
Probably because I already have my history and all the other things. So
Yeah.
I'm going back and referring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of what I use it for is, hey, this is a new computer. How do I get it to do this thing? So.
Yeah. Okay, so real quickly, the workflow sandwich. Input, it's going to process your input and then output. That's pretty much the bottom line. That's how AI works. You're gonna put your input in, it's gonna process your information, and then it's gonna spit out your output, and then you can keep refining it. Or in some cases, if you've got curated prompting, which is something I'm gonna show you, you don't really have to fudge with that too much if you've got parameters around your prompting. Here's some AI tools that I love. These are my go-tos. I use Gamma.ai, or actually I think it might be APP, Gamma.app. Is a great presentation tool. Are you using that, Brian?
No.
Okay, then I can show you something you don't know. This Gamma
Check it out.
is really amazing. Yeah, it's a wonderful tool. You can create presentations on the slide, you know, really fast. Ideogram, it creates images for you just with some prompts. In video, same thing, but it creates video content for you. And then of course Canva is everyone loves Canva. I think everyone knows about Canva. So those are really some great AI tools that you can get started with immediately. Here's a great meeting and note taker program, Fathom. I love this program because after I have a Zoom call, it transcribes the meeting for me. So now what I can do is I can take that transcription and I can follow up with a client really quickly. I can take the transcription, I can put it in a ChatGPT, and I can say, draft me a follow-up email, for example. Or if it's in fact, I'm gonna show you an example of it in just a second, but that's something you can definitely use. There's other ones out there. There's like Otter and some other note takers that are really, really great. And just copy the transcription, and now you can actually create content with it really, really fast. Okay, here's what I was talking about earlier. Curated prompting. It's scalable. So it's a template structure. So remember when I made that music video, I just typed in a couple sentences. Well, this is a much different technique. This is actually allows you to build prompts with placeholders. So, and it's something where you can put in your spreadsheet and you can use every time you need it for a certain application. And that's why they call it scalable, because you can reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. You just change the variables, you change the placeholders. And it might not make a lot of sense right now, but I'm going to show that to you. And then you can also use curated prompting to be very innovative with your marketing. So you can repurpose the content in multiple use cases. Okay, so let me go ahead and I am going to show you, I'm just trying to breeze through this. Okay, here is here's our case study. ABC Heating and Air. This is going to be our demo that we're going to do. Here's the scenario. ABC Heating and Air has over 100 field technicians. And the owner of the company, he recognizes when the technicians go out in the field that they're really not providing the client with some proper maintenance skills, some proper ways to save energy, and he's getting frustrated, the owner's getting frustrated because he's losing clients. The communication is just not there. So what he said to his marketing manager is he said, I want to get all the technicians together on a Zoom call. You got 60 minutes, I need you to create a presentation for me. And this is what we need. We need to train all of our technicians on consistent messaging and focus on energy efficient, renewable solutions, because they're just not getting the word out there to our customers. And so that is the challenge, is putting together a presentation, a 60-minute presentation, and we're meeting in 20 minutes. So what do? You know, you kind of scramble, right? So here's what we're going to show you. This marketing manager's smart. Because this marketing manager has a curated prompt ready to go, okay? So in her Excel spreadsheet with all of her prompts. This is a prompt that she has. She's to create a webinar on whatever those learning objectives are, that's in purple, which increases brand awareness targeting, and then the audience is the customer. I need guidance on structuring the webinar's content, creating the slides for a 60-minute webinar presentation with a focus on engaging my audience effectively. Additionally, I want a PDF for post-webinar follow-up strategies. So after the webinar, we don't want everyone to go about their day and forget everything that was said. We want some follow-up content to go out to those technicians. So specifically, I'm interested in including the most engaging types of content for, and then again, that's the HVAC technicians. So here's the variables filled out. Okay, we filled in the variables with the particular scenario. Prompting variables, create a webinar on renewable energy savings tips, aiming to achieve cost saving for ABC HVAC customers, which increases brand awareness targeting. So you kind of get the idea, right? The variables filled in the scenario. We had the variables that were containers, and we just fill in those containers with the proper audience, the proper scenario, the proper outcomes. So now the marketing manager, she's ready to go. She's got everything going. So then what she's gonna do is she's gonna pull up her document, and here's her completed prompt, okay? She's gonna copy that. That's exactly what I just showed in the slide. And then she's gonna open up her ChatGPT, okay? Now she's got her ChatGPT, and she's just gonna paste it in there. There's that prompt. Create a webinar on renewable energy savings tips aiming to achieve cost saving for ABC HVAC customers, which increases brand awareness, target HVAC field technicians. I need guidance on structuring the webinar content, creating the slides for a 60-minute presentation with a focus on engaging my audience effectively. Additionally, in a PDF, I'd like an outline of post-webinar follow-up strategies, and so on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click. I'm in the version 4.0 right here. You can use any of these versions. I mentioned earlier, I like the 03 version when I'm doing a little more advanced reasoning, but for the purposes of this, I'm just gonna use the 4.0. Now I'm just going to let it generate the content I'm looking for. It's creating my framework. I don't have to keep iterating the prompting because it's all in that container. Energy saving, bonus frame, each tip customer wins plus tech on the job scenario. Present 2-3 real life field situations before versus after energy upgrade. Okay, I look at this, and as a company, I might copy and paste this into a Word doc, and I might put in some specifics about my company. But you can see that everything has been created for me. Now here's my PDF document. I want to use that after the 60-minute webinar. I'm already ready to go with how I'm going to follow up with the technicians to make sure that they're doing their job and they stay motivated, and we keep them informed of what we need to happen. So here's some different content we can put out there. Now, would you like me to build the Gamma deck slide, the Gamma slide deck in PDF? And I'm going to say yes. Understanding question. I kind of like how it shows what it's doing. this is something that you can use if you're looking for some creative ideas of slides. So that's when it asked me about the slide deck. So you can actually edit this. I just wanted to show you how the image generator worked. So you can see how quickly it can generate an image for you. And then you can create a series of slide decks customized to your company, or you can use what's already templated in Gamma. So this is one way of creating your content. They create pretty good images. Okay. So if you don't quite know what to do with this coding here, and I'm not a coder, so all I really want is I wanted to create content and slides for my Gamma. Easy as that. Create content and slides for my Gamma presentation. Now we're gonna let it run again. But you see how nice the picture came out? You could create more images for your presentation if you want. I was doing the coding. I wasn't doing that before. Okay. If you'd like me to upload it into Gamma app for live editing and styling, just provide your workspace or invite link. I'm gonna say, just give me the text.
So it's created a PowerPoint presentation for you, sounds like, and it's giving you the option
Yeah.
to download it. That's interesting.
No coding. Let's see if it'll just give me what I want, because I really just want to copy and paste. I don't need all the.
Are you trying to create it in the canvas?
Yeah, I don't need all the coding. I don't know why it's doing that. Is it creating it in Canva?
No, do you want to create a canvas?
No, not really. No, this is what I want.
No.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, so now it's telling me slide 1, slide 2, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy and paste this. That's what I was trying to get. It kept giving me code, I don't know why I did that. Okay. I'm just gonna edit copy. And I'm gonna open up Gamma. And I'm going to go to, I'm using Gamma right now, by the way. I'm gonna go to create new.
And Sherry, I'm sorry, what is Gamma again? I got
Okay.
lost there.
Gamma is a presentation tool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, you know, like PowerPoint and,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, some of those tools. So what I wanna do is I just want to create a presentation, and I'll go back and I'll show you what I just did. So I'm in gamma.app right now.
Okay.
And I'm under create. We have a few options. We have paste in text, generate, or import file. So depending on what you're creating, you can either generate a prompt and it will create a presentation for you. You can import a file in a complete PDF document. But for purposes of this, all I did was copied that prompt, generative prompt that came back to me, and I'm gonna paste it right in here, okay? So that's exactly what was given to me by ChatGPT. And mind you, if this is a real presentation, put it in a Word doc, put your own, that's where we call human in the loop, add your own content, anything you need to massage, and then paste it into Gamma, okay? And notice I have an option of presentation, web page, document, and social. So I'm picking presentation because it's a 60-minute presentation, and I'm gonna preserve the text, right? And then I'm just gonna continue to prompt editor. Now it's going to give me all of my slides. These are all my slides. And I'm like, okay, that looks great. I'm gonna click continue. Now I'm gonna pick a theme up here in the right-hand side. Maybe my company colors are, let's see here, maybe they're, see, we have professional, we have light mode, we have dark mode, we have all different options. Maybe you'll find something that's close to your branding. Let's see here. Let's pick maybe this one, and it'll show you. It'll preview it for you. Okay. Let's say those are my company colors, and they do have an option where you can brand your company colors. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click generate. Right. Now what it's doing is reading the slides, and it's creating your presentation. You can edit the images, you can edit the text when you're in here. You can change the colors, you can do a lot of editing. But this shows you how quick you can create a presentation on the fly.
So the images, you brought that over from ChatGPT or
No.
Gamma's creating them?
Gamma's pulling them in. Gamma's reading everything,
Yeah.
and it's making suggested images, but you can change them.
Oh, sure.
You can upload your own images,
Right,
or
of
they
course.
have many ways you can
Yeah.
go into their platform and generate images. So you can see how easy it is. Using a curated prompt, filling in the containers, putting it into ChatGPT, running it and asking it exactly what you're looking for. I didn't want all the code. I wanted a presentation in text form, and put it into Gamma, and now it's generating my presentation. And this, they have a free version, and they have a $20 a month version. I use it so much that I pay $20 a month. But you can create up to 8 slides on the free version. Isn't that crazy? So now, yes.
And you said earlier you can bring your own branding, if you can upload the documentation for your branding in there.
Yeah, you can, there's a upgraded version you can get, you can add your branding, your colors, but what they have in here is pretty sufficient for me. It has my branding colors in here. They've got a lot of choices. So here's your presentation, and you can go in here and you can change it out. You can change the figures if they're incorrect. You can do anything you want with this. And this shows you your presentation. What do you guys think? Do you think you could use this in your business, maybe?
Great operational piece.
I wonder how this, back on the page prior to that on ChatGPT, it gave you an option to download the PowerPoint presentation that you generated so that.
Yeah, you can ask it. You can ask it, because I did ask for a PDF, Let's see, what
He
is that?
created a PowerPoint, it looks like.
Yeah, I asked for a, I
So
asked for
that's-
a PDF, and that was gonna give me, content for, let's see what I got here.
See, it says ABC HD there.
Yeah, right here. So I could have downloaded this, and uploaded it into Gamma.
Okay.
You can do that too. Yeah. Now, the other thing about this is pretty neat is you can create your follow-up emails with this. So I think I asked it for, did I ask it for some follow-up content? Okay, provide ongoing micro training. So it's, so you can ask it, okay, I want to create some micro training, 3 to 5 minute Loom. So you can even ask ChatGPT, and you can also say, I want an email sequence, right? Create, let's say a 4-week follow-up email sequence. To technicians. Well, you don't even have to do that. So it's just gonna draw from that presentation, and then it's gonna create a 4-week email sequence. Go all the way down here. So then what you can do is you can go into your CRM, go into your CRM and you can schedule out your emails, schedule them out a week at a time, copy, paste, and then put that into your account. That's one thing you can do. There's a lot of things, a lot of creative things you can do with this. You can even create social content with it. You could use Gamma. Let's say we took this Gamma. Let's see if we can do this. Let's say I want to create social media content. I'm going to copy and paste this again. Wait a minute, let's see. Create a social media campaign. So now you already have the content in there. Now you just keep building on it. You don't have to keep doing things over again. It's pretty amazing. Now I want a social media campaign. So I can so here's my emails. Here's week 1, it's got the subject header, it's got everything in here. Week 2, it's got the, and you can change these. You can say, I don't like this subject header. Give me some ideas. And it will change, just ask it to do that for you. Okay, social media campaign. Here's our social media campaign. Now we can create a social media campaign. Now we can start pumping out social content. Here's energy saving ways, that you can, save on your energy bill. Here's some tips. And now you can start to put content out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. You can create, stagnant. You can create content using some of these tools here. Like I've got Ideogram open. You can say, create HVAC tech making repairs or something like that. You punch in your prompt. This is called Ideogram. And now I'm asking it to create an image for me. You can also do it in ChatGPT. But this is just another resource for you. And now what it's doing is it's going to create an image for me. There it is right there. That was fast. Okay, that was super fast. So here's a suggestion, maybe I don't like that one. I've got all these suggestions here. So those are some, that's something you can do. You can also do the same thing with, in video. You could say the same thing. Let's see here. create HVAC technician calling on a client. How's that? And let's generate a video. Another super easy tool you can use. See what I mean? It's just so super easy. Yes.
I'm gonna share a quick hack.
Yes.
So when you're in
Always.
ChatGPT and it's giving you the slide, instead of jumping to ideogram or
Yeah.
in video, write in ChatGPT, say, okay, now write the prompt for
Mm-hmm. Yes,
ideogram.
definitely.
So then it's just,
Yeah, you can put it right in here. Just say, I need a prompt for a video. And then, let's see what it looks like here. It's still analyzing it. Yeah, I mean, you can do you can basically do everything through ChatGPT. That's like your foundation for any of your content that you're creating. Just, that would be your go-to. And then add some tools to it. But I will wrap this up because we're running late. So I will wrap this up and just say thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember strategy. Think about your strategy. Think about guardrails. I'd be more than happy to send you the slideshow. There were a couple slides I did not get to, but it was really great engagement, so I really like that. I'd rather have more conversations than just showing a slideshow anyway.
That'd be
So,
great.
yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much. And if you want to stick around and watch this generate, we'll hang out.
Well,